Today we will be discussing division of numbers. Okay, division of numbers. Suppose you're given 6 oranges. Suppose you're given 6 oranges between Tom and Harry. And you need to divide the oranges equally between them. Divide 6 oranges equally between them. Okay. So you have 6 oranges. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So you have 6 oranges and you want to divide equally between Tom and Harry. Okay. So the one way to do it is like Tom gets 1, Harry gets 1, Tom gets 1, Harry gets 1, Tom gets 1, and Harry gets 1. So you can see this group of oranges is Tom's, okay, and this group of oranges is Harry's, okay, and each group, as you can see, has 3 oranges. So there is 1 orange in Tom's group, 2, 3. Similarly, you have 1, 2, 3. So each group has 3 oranges. So that means that Tom gets 3 oranges and Harry gets 3 oranges. So that means that Tom and Harry get 3 oranges each. Okay. So when you divide 6 oranges between Tom and Harry, each of them gets 3 oranges. Okay. Each of them gets 3 oranges. Okay. Let's take one more example. So you have 8 oranges need to be divided equally between Tom, Harry, Jane, and Kate. So there are 4 people now. So there is Tom, there is Harry, there is Jane, and then there is Kate. There are 4 people and there are 8 oranges and we need to divide them equally. So let's take the oranges again. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you have 8 oranges. So you need to divide between Tom, Harry, Jane, and Kate, and each one needs to get the same number. Okay, so you get Tom gets 1, Harry gets 1, Jane gets 1, and Kate gets 1. Okay, and you have still 4 more left. So Tom gets 1, Harry gets 1, Jane gets 1, and Kate gets 1. So as you can see, these oranges are divided between groups now. So this is one group, which is the number of oranges that Kate has. This is the other group, the number of oranges that Jane has. And then we have a third group, which is the number of oranges that Tom has. And then there is a fourth group, which is the number of oranges that Harry has. Okay. So there are 4 groups. So there's 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups. So there are 4 people. So there are 4 groups and each one of them has 2 oranges. So there is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So that means that each one of them gets 2 oranges. Gets 2 oranges. Okay. So we divided 8 oranges between 4 people and each one of them got 2 oranges. So mathematically we write it as 8 divided by 4. So you're dividing the 8 oranges into 4 groups. So the 4 comes below. So there are Tom, Harry, Jane, and Kate. That's the 4 groups, and you have total 8 oranges, and each one gets 2 oranges each. Okay, so that's the number of oranges that each one gets. Okay, so the number division, the total number of that you are given, the 8 oranges, is called as a dividend. and the number of groups that you want to divide it into is called as the divisor, and the number that you get, like how many oranges that each one gets, is called as the quotient. Okay, it's called as the quotient, Quotient. Okay, so number of oranges that you were given, or the number that you are given, is called as a dividend, and the number of groups that you want to divide it into is called as a divisor, and the answer that you get, or the number of oranges that each person gets, is called as a quotient. Let's take one more example. Let's stick with the oranges again. Suppose you're given six oranges, and you have Tom, Jane, and Kate. Okay, so there are 3 people, and you want to divide the 6 oranges between 3 people. Okay, so let's do the example again. So you have 6 oranges, so we can write Tom gets 1, Jane gets 1, and Kate gets 1, and similarly Tom gets 1 more, Jane gets 1 more, Kate gets 1 more. So we have 3 groups. So this is the first group, Kate, this is the second group, which is Jane, and then the third group is Tom's group. Okay, so each of them gets 2 oranges. There are 2 in each group, so each gets 2 oranges. Okay, so we can write the number of in mathematically 6 oranges, the number of oranges that you have, and the number of groups that you want to divide into. The number of groups is 3 because there are 3 people, Tom, Jane, and Kate. So you have 3 groups, and each one of them gets 2 oranges. So that means that 6 is the dividend, 3 is the divisor, and 2 is the quotient. Now if you notice that whenever we divide 2 numbers, we can always write it as a form of multiplication. So if you multiply the divisor and the quotient, you will get the dividend. So if you multiply the divisor, which is 3, into the quotient, you will end up with dividend. Okay, 3 multiplied by 2 is equal to 6. 3 multiplied by 2 is equal to 6. In the previous example also, if you multiply the divisor by the quotient, you'll get the dividend. So 4 multiplied by 2 is equal to 8. So as you can see, multiplication and divisions are related to each other, and multiplication is the inverse of division, or the opposite of division, or the division is opposite of multiplication. Okay, now in the next video, this video was basically explaining how we divide numbers. So in the next video, we'll explore further the concept of division and how we can do it much more quicker, rather than going through the steps separating each individual numbers into different groups. Okay, we'll talk about that in the next video. Thank you.